Good afternoon, all. I'm going to present my research paper on the sustainable renewable energy investment strategy, concept, framework, and the opportunities for improvement. So, this paper highlights policymakers around the world and recognize the challenges of addressing climate change. At the same time, more than 80% of global energy relies on the depleted fossil fuels. So, it is creating significant energy security challenges. So this work further introduces on spatial issues on strategic choices for renewable energy investment, how this can be done. Then sustainable private investment, how it can be getting into introduced so that the renewable energy can be taken forward. Also how we can address the climate change issues. The aim of this paper also to analyze strategic choices, how we can make the strategic choices while we are taking decisions on renewable energy investments. So these are the basic abstract of this paper. So I will just take you through basic of the sustainability. In broader outline, the approach towards sustainability is towards in three steps. That is, first is about the eco-efficiency, doing the same thing before with less impact on the environment. That is, second is about the effectiveness with the closed circulation, all the technical and natural materials modeled after nature's ecosystem. And third group is approach, it should fit the headline self-sufficiency as per the requirements. So having less as well as technologies in wider sense are normative and from the engineer standpoint to abstract. So they do not present even guidance. Also some guidance on how these resources can be sustained for long term without affecting our environment. The basics on about this financing is policymakers around the world are recognize that the challenges for addressing climate change, and this is now going towards a very critical in going future. So at the same time, more than 80% of global energy supplies relies on the depleted fossil fuels only. So which is going to deplete in will start in next 50 to 60 years. So that will be the bigger resource constraint for energy in future. So resource being unevenly distributed across the world, so it's now time to get into the renewable energy assessment also. So, but at the same time, if we are going with some non-impacting resources, just like nuclear energy, so the disaster which is happened in Fukushima, Japan, so it is also given one standpoint that should we go with nuclear energy, this clean energy, but should we go with this unsafe kind of energy also, that is also covered in this. So how much of this decision process can best be explained by the traditional economic models of the fully rational? So how we should take the decision basis this if we are going for the renewable energy sources. So that was the key concept behind this. Renewable energy investment and policies. So the current scenario about the investment in renewable was fairly limited. Up to 2000 it was very limited. Now in 2004, the total investment is increased up to $52, and up to 2008, because of so many awareness, government policy changes, then clean energy introduction, so it leads to 180 billions in 2008, and now its growth rate is about 30% right now. While the global financial crisis seems to have limited overall impact on the renewable energy investment community, so there will definitely be significant structural shift in investment which is going to be done in renewable energy sectors. Also, some of the major, if we give example, US wind power sector shows a sharp decline in years 9-10, but now it started taking up. Also, China market continue to exhibit high growth rate in renewable energy. Also, there is some growth in photovoltaic system and energy. Then installation, so many installations going on Germany and other sectors. There is 75% increase happened in the current status of the renewable energy. Then a future of the renewable energy, a future of is constrained. Well, it's basically on growth of keeping CO2 emission. That is the major challenge to keep on control on CO2 emission, and that is also to keep our global temperature in consistent of the 21 degrees Celsius. So its amount of global investment is required in clean technologies, and that's why it technology in order to 400 to 500 billion dollars per annum until 2020. It was predicted. This is the updates from IPCC. The social report on renewable energy sources estimate the global investment in renewable power generation technologies is going to be US dollar 1490 to 7180 billion dollars by next decade. So future in renewable energy is definitely their policies, and these are the renewable policies need to be framework, and accordingly actions to be done, and every country is working on that. The basic conceptual model, basically renewable energy decision is taken based on risk and return. So if risk is more, so and return is also equally at the same level, so definitely the action is considered positively. But at the same time, policymakers consider these both points, risk and return, and accordingly investment decisions are taken for that. At the second, these are the starting point of risk and return, but at the same time, portfolio aspects is also considered. Thus, adding renewable energy generation asset into portfolio of conventional power generation assets may also provide diversification, effect traditional engineering economic models, valuing power generation assets that employ most electrical utilities, non-accounted things, then hence potentially undervaluing renewable energy. So through this we can also add up into these portfolios and motivate this to consider as a renewable energy as a major source for the financing also. This investor basically consider at the investment level. So for renewable energy, the policy government also decides some government can decide some policies to consider renewable energy. Then policy this policy should be intervened in the market. Then so many private sectors can consider the R&D. Then they can apply R&D. They've come up with some solution. Then that can be customized way, and fully it is, if it's customized and economically viable, so it can be considered by the market, and that is full-fledged, can be implemented across the thing. Thus, if it is market oriented, so investment are also positive investment are started coming towards the renewable things, and these are comes from so many areas. Then at the same time, risk and return, it is driven through the policy, and it is driven through the investment. Then the portfolio aspect covers entire all this thing. It should be cover risk, return, policy, investor. Then this should be the protected one. So by this way, the concept is introduced. The conceptual model of strategic choice of renewable energy investment. So in this case, taking the consideration of the previous sections together, there seems to be case of more this picture on renewable energy investment as a starting point, risk and the return, and important drivers of the investment decisions. The policymakers aiming at the increasing share of renewable energy should do, because this is the need of the future, and we are from climate change point of view also this need to we have to consider. Also in some financing option there is we have to reduce the risk because of that, just like wind energy and all this, the risk consideration is more compared to solar and other generations. So this also need to be assessed properly, so this considered. Then also adequate return need to be worked out efficiently with the technology consideration. Then creating level of playing field, helping market to positive extremities. Then the portfolio aspects and idea diversification also need to be done across at all levels of the business, government policies and all this. Then investment choices also need to be done at a different level, and investors are also same time similar investment opportunities valued differently by different investors. So these differences are driven rational aspects through portfolio diversification, also boundary rational components. These are also considered effectively. Then basically the business, corporate and government, how they should rationalize and implement the policies, the business model and investment in energy innovation. We described the strategic behavior of this oil and gas industry, in that there is so many investment are already done. compared to the renewable energy. So if you see some Royal, Dutch, Shell, BPN, they already done huge investment in oil sector. So that is giving returns, and they have worked out all the business cases modeled accordingly. But at the same time, success in exploring the new business has been limited in this major oil companies. So they have to argue on development on solar energy, because it seems to be somewhat efficient one also in coming years, and might be the cost effective with the recent technology development. So that's why this advanced technology along with the business cases will be accepted by such big organizations also. Then in empirical approach, the determinant of the systematic risk for renewable energy companies, it finds risk indeed on very high renewable energy firms. So large factors determines of the namely sales growth, oil pricing changes, renewable energy company risk increase, rising oil prices, this decrease with the sales growth. So these all decisions will be taken, need to be taken properly. Other factors includes the variable beta models, namely debt to equity, then R&D expenditure. These are also in line with the business models that they can be considered. Also, the renewable energy company samples will be taken for the taking decisions for a betterment of clean energy, exchange rate, trade funds, and how it can be penetrate the market, then policy implications. This can be oil pricing, how it will impact the market. So this will also be part of it. In portfolio analysis, in this portfolio optimization concept to demonstrate the scope of greater utilization of renewable energy while reducing the investment risk in conventional electricity sector. So this should be competent enough with the conventional energy sector, because these are dominant one, and the pricing also meet with the conventional thing. Otherwise, it will be the financing will not be that much competitive, and we have to pay much more on that. Hello.
Dear Yogesh, sorry for interrupting. You have 2 minutes of time. You kindly conclude, go to the conclude slide, and you can proceed.
Yeah. So about this presentation, I would like to conclude on the three aspects. That is the contribution in traditional things, and energy, traditional energy resources, and their policies should also be competent enough with the renewable energy policies and renewable energy policies and its implementations actions. Then strategic choices on renewable energy investment is highly relevant and well worth studying. But at the same time, we are left with the number of facilitating avenues for further research. There is a lot of things are still there. Then recurring energy investment should be is already worked out, need to be worked out in this renewable energy, and at the different geographic levels. Also its asset, then its investment, then hurdle rate, this should be the worked out. These are the basic is concluded on this. Also the policymakers also need to familiar with the tools that investors use to set up the cost of capital in renewable energy investment. Then papers identify the limitations of using purely rational framework, understanding strategic investment decision making. Then renewable energy investment, the future research which can be done in renewable energy should also be expedited, so that it will impact on technology and cost as well. The third area in research is about investigating the ideas, investor segmentation. Also, it's a point of developing tailor-made solutions, so that different customers is having different requirement. So different segments should be addressed separately, just like residential, commercial, industrial, then large-scale power plants. So as per the customization, this financing will be different, the implementation will be different, and the research will also be different. So this technology questions will be also, there is way forward, there is look, this we can look into and further develop on this. Also there is philosophical approach, there is a bounded rational perspective could shed light on the role of cognitive aspect, shaping risk perception, return perceptions, which are cognitive process lead some investors to pursue, and it can compete with the oil industries and others. Solar and renewable energy can compete with the existing conventional energy, and so that this can give us good impact on this. So The possible areas of the research in renewable energy concludes further insights on the substantial investment, and definitely if we consider all these aspects, so definitely we are going to get good investment for our renewable energy sectors. Okay, so with this I would like to thank on this, and I am concluding my session.